Hey guys, so for this episode, we are going to look at personas. And personas are an extremely important foundational best practice for user experience design.
He doesn't seem all too sure of himself, does he? Bit apprehensive. All he's trying to do his first vlog on user experience design. I wonder if he'll get better than this.
Hi guys, I'm Marty and I'm a user experience consultant. I want to talk to you today about personas, and personas are an extremely foundational and really important method to be used throughout a user experience design project or any development project that incorporates user experience design, research, users, user-centered design at all. Right. To create a persona, what you're going to need to do initially is talk to at least, I would say, the very minimum 3 users from a target user base. I personally would want to talk to at least 5 because take it like this. If you've got 1 user, you're not going to get an average that way, so there's no point creating a persona. Might as well just write something up against that 1 user, which it can be useful, but it's not going to give you an aggregation, it's not going to give you an average of insights. If you use 2, it's quite weak. So 3 I would suggest is the minimum, and I would just 5 because I want to get a broad spectrum to fill out this persona, fill out this profile of the target audience, so then we can create a much better, more refined and an experience or product or service that cares a lot more for the user and the target user group that we're actually aiming for. I mean, it just makes sense. So once you talk to the users, you're going to understand, okay, what are the type of users? What are these users like? What's their environment? You know, what are their habits? What are they like? You know, we've got to understand that, or else the product or service we're actually developing is going to be almost mute. There's no point in actually doing it. It's going to be a solution for an issue that we deem it to be. And what we've seen from the past, 20-25 years of development in technology is that doesn't really work. And they have to use this 10-15-year-old Oracle database system. Something that's got no design in it whatsoever, it's just been created and developed. That's it. There's been no user research. If there has been, it's been documented. They've ticked that box and just left it to the side. So what we're doing nowadays within any technological project, or what we should be doing, what big companies are saying that they're doing, is they're employing people like me, people like you, user researchers, user experience designers, and within that, interaction designers, visual designers, that kind of thing. And they're saying that they're actually designing for the user specifically. They're going out and doing the groundwork, which generally they're really not doing. It takes work, it takes effort, you know, it takes knowledge, it takes know-how, it takes someone or some team, people who've got the skill set to actually be, you know, people persons. You know, they've got to go out there, they've got to talk to the users, they've got to bring back that insight, they've got to bring back that information, they've got to be able to engage with the users, understand what the actual problems are, bring in the key insights, understand the users top to bottom, what their day is like, who they are, what they generally do, what they need. You don't ask users, what do you need? So you've got to ask them questions that dig into that, so eventually you do understand what they need. And to actually do any user-centered design at all, properly, you've got to go out and do this work. It's not that difficult, it's not that hard, it just takes time to schedule, organize. You've got to go find the users. And generally that can just be going out doing guerrilla user research, which is going to the environment, sitting in Starbucks, talking to the users, just people watching, you know, ask someone, have you got 5 minutes? I'm just doing some research.
So like, go and do the research, you know, get out there and get what you need to do. I mean, talk to all these people. I mean, it's easy as that. I mean, all these people walking around, you know, they're going around the street. Just go and talk to them.
Then from that, you get true fact, user insight. You know, it's there, spur of the moment. So they're going to tell you the truth, obviously. I mean, there's no need for them not to. It's the groundwork, you know. Once you go out and do user research, come back in, roll out some personas, and that's your ground zero. That's where you start from. You know, you need that information to begin with. Personas are considerably straightforward. You know, if you've ever seen any type of profile online, on paper, wherever, whatever medium, right? Look at Facebook. Everyone's got a profile. We're looking to get that kind of structure, you know? So to create a persona, and the components of a persona of that document would consist of what do the users kind of look like? Well, not really what they look like. What kind of user are we dealing with here, you know? So what you want to do is go find a stock image of someone who fits the description of the users you've been talking to. The details are going to make you kind of connect with this persona a name. So let's put Bob Willis. He's 25. Let's say Bob here, of 25 years of age, is a barista. Go back to thinking about Starbucks, thinking about that whole environment when I'm thinking about the users, like just off the top of my head. Some more, this is granular information, it's high impact. But we want to get more info about who he is as a person. A little bio about him, a little biography. Now, this can be a paragraph that gives us some in-depth detail about who he is and, you know, just a day in a life. Just a short little transcript about a day in a life. He quite enjoys going out to work in the morning. You know, he's pumped for going to work. Because he's young, because he's in a job that he likes, he works with people that he really likes, and that's the key for anyone, isn't it? You know, so this guy really likes his job. You know, Bob's a team player, and if you're taking kind of Starbucks as the example of where this persona works or this user base works, so let's say, for instance, you know, we're working with Starbucks. They are a client of ours, and we're developing a new system for them. We want to know all about the people that work there. So if you work at Starbucks, you're deemed a partner. You're not deemed a staff member, you're deemed a partner. Let's say, for instance, Bob here is, one of the reasons he's really into his job is because he has got stake in the company, wants to know all about the company, you know, any updates that come in, so he likes to keep up to date with the company overall, as well as working with his awesome colleagues. To give more life to the persona, a user quote can be quite powerful from one of the users you've actually talked to. It's not going to be something that's aggregated from all the users you've talked to. Let's take this one piece from a specific user. The quote here would just be quite short, you know, it'd be a sentence. It's a quote. So the quote's going to give a little bit more life to the persona. And let's say, for instance, we talked to Bob during our research sessions, and Bob said, it's great working at my store, and it's great working at my store. I love serving our customers, and what really gets me motivated is the opportunities we get within the company. So that's a very short, sweet, and it was, because it's an example, it's quite an nondescript quote. But this is just to highlight the fact that a quote allows us to engage more with the persona. Another thing that we can have here is we want to talk about their motivations, their frustrations, and their goals. Okay. Now these are quite standard things to put in the persona. So when we're thinking about a motivation for a persona, what is actually motivating Bob here to feel this way every day and feel this way overall about his job or about his role? And we can already see here that Bob is quite motivated to work in his role because he has opportunities within the company, and I suggested earlier that he has stock within the company. So his motivation is stock and financial. Another would be feel-good factor of working in a good team. We want to understand the frustrations that the users have because that's inevitably what we're designing against. Harmful to the user's working day in life, that stop the user from doing certain things, that actually hinder the user's performance. So a frustration that Bob here working in a Starbucks store might have could be he might not get enough hours, so he might not get the hours that he really wants. The systems are always crashing, you know, whatever reason that's for, the systems are always crashing on him, and that hinders his performance. So now a goal. So users all have goals, and that's generally why we create systems in the first place, because we want to get from A to B, from whatever that may be, and allow them to accomplish something, allow them to succeed. So whenever you're using a computer or a system or your phone or anything, you're using it for a purpose. Now our purpose is already established in our persona by thinking about the bio and the quote from the user. So the goal for Bob here, working in Starbucks, could be that he wants to work more effectively with his team. Okay, so another one of Bob's goals could be in Starbucks, working there, how the customers come in, he wants to ensure that they all have a great experience when they're going through, getting their coffee, chilling out, enjoying the environment of a store, and just all in all having a great day. He wants to ensure that they have a great experience. So that's the basic persona there, but the point was to show you a structure and show you the components that create a good persona and that create a document that can be shared around your whole team throughout the whole development and design phases. So the components here that I've listed include an image of the user. The point of a persona is to give life to a project, to give life to a user base, to give life to your research. So you've got an image here, a photo of a potential user that fits this kind of demographic, fits that user base. If you give them a name, you get to connect with them. Their age or information like their age and their role, that allows you to understand who these users are, kind of on average, who are the users. 25 years old, I understand he's going to be full of ambition generally, and that kind of information can come through. The fact he's a barista, that's obviously required knowledge. We need to know what role these people are playing. The biography gives us a further insight into a potential user's kind of life. What are they like, what do they like, what do they do? What's their work-life balance? What is their personal life like if we've got that information? And that helps us connect even more. The key points with a persona is to allow you to connect and engage with the users. You've got this research, but after user research sessions, that could just become documentation that's left to the side. It's just written up, it's just words. People don't really want to have to go through that, especially the developers who are trying to put this thing together. But if you've got this, it's more of a visual thing, and it's got some quick key details, then it's something that you can easily connect with. So as well as biography, you've got a quote, and like I said, the quote should be something one of the users has actually said. That allows you to connect even further because this is real, it's a fact. It's something that they have said, it's coming straight from them, and it allows you to connect straight through to the user base. Now, a couple of the fundamental components here are motivations and frustrations. So a motivation for you or anyone else carrying out any task, your purpose, So you've got to have a motivation to do something, or else why are you doing it? So uncovering the motivations means that we can understand going into what the goals are. So motivations here being that they're interested in the stock and financial aspects of the company they work for. That allows you to understand where they're at, what they're thinking about day to day. The frustrations, that flags up the things that we're trying to design and develop against for this new product service solution. So that's obviously fundamental, And then the goals, what are they actually trying to accomplish 100%? Where are they going? What's the end of their roadmap? Where are they trying to get to with what they're doing just now? And they all tie in together. And they're supposed to give you insight into what they're aiming for, what is their purpose, what they're trying to do. And it just all connects to inform you a lot more than just the requirements from the business end. We need to understand who the users are. We need to understand further about the detail. An aggregated view of your users are going to allow you to accomplish that, because you're going to get to see a lot of the key insights, and it's only the key insights that are going to make their way into personas if you do the user research right. So like I said, if you only got one user, you're not getting an average there. That's just one user. There's no point in doing that user research if you're just going to stay at one, okay? So if you're getting several users, you're gathering that insight and you're putting it together in one persona, two personas, three personas, then that's going to give you a myriad of information. It's going to give you several key indicators that you can aim for. So you're going to have a visual here that you can print out, you can put up everywhere around the team. You're going to be able to hand out to all the team, or just digitally hand out to everyone, share it about. It could even be put on a slide deck, so when you're presenting to the team, presenting to the client, presenting to the business, presenting to even the users, again, you know. If you haven't validated your user research after you've taken it down, then when you put into personas, you're going to want to validate that again, because assumption is the absolute bitch of the user-centered world, you know. And that's what's been happening. That has been a main cause of all the issues, of all the bad, diabolical interfaces, systems, products and services over the past however many years. You can't even track that, right? Assumption is diabolical and I despise it. So that's one thing user research helps us aid against. Because we're actually gathering facts and insights from the people that we're actually trying to work with, work for, and like produce something for. I have workshops on assumption because I hate it so much. You've got to get in the user's shoes. You know, out of the client's head into user's shoes. That's going to get you so much further, and it's going to create a much more engaging product or service at the end of it as well. It's just obvious, isn't it?
Why don't you answer when